All right, welcome back to episode 4 of the Artificery podcast. We've made it 4 weeks. I'm your host, Nick,
It's like a whole
aka
month.
Dork. I know, right? And we got Garrett, aka Zero Hour back, and other
Hello.
Nick, aka Taxter. Sean, aka Yeti, and Wyatt are both MIA, but I hope they're back soon. Like
I think
Wyatt,
Sean will be back in a few weeks.
yeah,
They're on assignment.
Sean's been on assignment reporting back of everything in Ireland lately, like just making me jealous of all the cool stuff he's getting to do. But yeah, they're missing out on all the Star Wars Destiny things.
It's not Destiny, but yeah.
Whatever game. That's just old habits. I can't believe I said that. Honestly, Star Wars Destiny. Holy
Well,
jeez.
it was 4 years ago this week that the Last Worlds was. So
Oh,
Oh, it
God,
was
that
this
a good
week
time.
too.
yep.
Yeah, it was. He was posting up like pictures of us doing things at the last
Oh,
Worlds.
that's
Four-
what those were for.
Yeah,
because
4 years ago tonight was the meetup at the bar where Chris brought his Tinker suit,
Yeah, good memories.
which, by the way, right on my desk. Got my Tinker,
Misprinted
my
Tinker.
misprint Tinker.
I mean, that was an epic moment in Destiny history when he returned all of the misprinted Tinkers to FFG in the form of a vest and top hat. Like, I don't know if we have anything like that in the future of Star Wars Unlimited, but we will be lucky if we do because
There will undoubtedly be a misprint at some point. Just
I
by the way,
those what were
They
those
worked.
from? The
think they were just from like a
they
weekly.
were promo that was there
Yeah.
was like an absolute crap load of them.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
because they were like the common one and like
it's
a regular weekly kit.
You were supposed to essentially get like one of every week. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
zero
like-
cost card that they printed the one resource on.
Yeah, but yeah, he collected a bunch. Yeah. Anyway, this week in Star Wars Unlimited, not a whole lot of news. I mean, kind of expected because last week was like, I don't know, we got a crap ton of spoilers. We had a stream, like this week they got to have an off week occasionally. They can't put out like 8 spoilers every week. But even then, we got like 3 spoilers this week, which I don't know. I think it's fine. We got to play some games. We were playing some games on the live stream right before this call. Anybody have any insights or anything they want to share from like games they played or maybe games they played earlier in the week? I'll start with Tack. What do you got?
I don't know.
What you
I'm
been doing?
enjoying just playing. I've been playing a lot of more Luke lately. I feel like just because he's fun. He kind of fits my play style of kind of like try to take control of the board with dudes and shields and some sentinels and stuff, and just he feels kind of nice.
I agree. I think Luke's probably the best deck still right now. Like people have been getting tricky with like Hans and other stuff, but Luke just like brings straight value and power more so.
I mean, the value of Luke himself coming out, and he is like, because like Luke's lightsaber and the fact that there's healing in like Hero Blue right now, like it's basically the like if you don't kill him, you might not kill him, which is not necessarily the same with Vader. Like Vader doesn't really have healing right now available to him, so he will die. But like, man, if you throw damage at Luke and get Luke's lightsaber like next action, you kind of just walk into like almost an auto loss. I mean,
It's
not
brutal.
quite, but like kind of.
I don't know. Even then, like comparing Luke to any of the other leaders, like when you flip him and get to attack with him, like I think that shield that he gives causes more problems for your opponent than like Vader. Like yeah, Vader comes out, he does like 2 damage to you and like hits kind of hard, but like it doesn't create like the board state mismatches.
True. Yeah,
And like yeah, even like Boba's maybe
he
close
snowballs
to
your board.
resources. Like some of the other leaders aren't. I don't know. Like Sabine's nowhere close. Like oh, you get like to ping 1 damage and she hits for like nothing. I don't know. I think of like all the leaders, like his shield on his first attack, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get it. Messes up like so many other decks board, board control math. And I think that's like the really strong thing about him. None of the other leaders have that much impact when they flip.
I mean, there's very few things that can take him out with like one action. You
I mean,
can't
without
take
stuff on
down
the, if you have stuff on the board already, then
right,
it's possible.
but then if you have stuff on the board, I'm playing around that.
You can play around Veer's ambush into ATST.
I
I
mean,
mean,
there's
I
that.
guess.
I mean, you
You can
can.
play
You have Obi
Obi-Wan
Wan out
the
and
same
pray.
turn. I mean, that's the thing. You play Obi-Wan the same turn Luke flips, and like, what do? You're like,
Yeah.
here's my Obi-Wan. Like, are you gonna deal with him? Like, you can use your stuff to get through him, but like, here's my Luke, and like, he's gonna get at least a shield out of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, Luke's good. What about you, Garrett? Like, you've been playing a lot of Sabine Blue. Like, we played some
I
on the stream.
So my Sabine Blue is kind of control mid rangey, instead of going full aggro, and it can't. It's bad in the end game, so it needs. If I don't win in the mid game, like I won't win. Uh, I think it just need mid range just needs more a bigger card pool. Like that's I think the
Are you
biggest
throwing
problem with it right
like
now.
Luke Saber in there, or like in trenches to
I
like
haven't
just
trenched. Yeah,
buff your dudes and take control?
I haven't trenched. I have fallen light. I have one fallen lightsaber.
I mean,
Um,
Luke's lightsaber still might be worth it
I
for.
think it probably is. Just having used fallen lightsaber a bunch, I think Luke's is
Well,
probably
for
better,
all
even if
lightsaber,
I'm
you have to
not
pay
getting
the
it.
the real penalty, right? That costs 5.
Yeah, but like if you put that, because I run Mace in my deck, if you put that on Mace or Obi Wan,
Like
like
put it on
it's
an actual
good.
big guy, like a Jedi
Yeah,
or a Force user.
Force
right.
guy.
Or even Kanan. I mean, it's good in Kanan, like with Kanan too. There's
Yeah.
enough Force users in the deck to make it
Are you running
useful.
Yoda?
No, I should be though.
Yeah, if you're gonna be control-ish, you should run Yoda. I think
Yeah,
just for like late game popping down to restore 2, where you're getting those like 4
And the
health.
fact he'll recycle himself too.
Yeah,
It's
and the
always
card draws
nice.
is bonus, whatever.
I've been running
Oh, that's,
Dodonna, and like I just don't think he's not as good as I want him to be for 4. And I think Yoda's probably a better play.
yeah, like I don't know. If I was trying to do a control version of Sabine, I'm probably not caring about Dodonna. Like Dodonna seems like a top of curve aggro card to me, where you're like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna swarm the board and like I'm gonna drop this guy that like my opponent has to answer him and like ignore like
Yeah.
other units that I dropped early, or if they don't answer him, like I just win because like he increased my board by like a significant amount. But I think if I was playing more control, like Yoda makes sense. I don't know if Luke Saber does make sense in a control version because it doesn't really help your health pool. That like +1 health,
I mean, it's true.
not great.
It's cheap though for extra punch on a little dude.
I like it in my aggro version of Sabine. I was playing a blue red aggro earlier. I only played one game with it. It lost, but like I like Luke Saber as slow version of Surprise Strike. Like they can hit over and over again.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
I mean, the problem I think when you're saying with like Dodonna versus Veers too is like what you're saying Dodonna's better for aggro. I said like the difference is I like Veers more. Just one, he's cheaper, but like the other thing we have in villain right now that we don't in hero is 3 cost sentinels to basically stand up in front of him, and Dodonna has nothing. He just
yeah.
like I mean you got Obi-Wan at 6, but like and Chewie at 5, and I don't know if you really should be playing Chewie. And like Chewie doesn't feel great a lot of time. No,
No,
Chewie's not even a rebel either. Neither is
no,
Obi-Wan.
no,
Like yeah, like
no.
even your two
They
big
don't give the boost.
Sentinels aren't even getting buffed by Dodonna. So like it doesn't really fit with what we have available right now.
that's a
But
good point. Like Cloud City
like
Wingguard.
Cell Block and the Royal Guard, just staples keep Veers alive other than like events.
Cell
Yeah.
block is so good.
I mean, that's a good segue into like one of my favorite decks that we at least played earlier, and you played it once, but the Tarkin deck in double green. Like people have been wondering, like is double aspect going to be good? And like right now, we basically have one double aspect card in the 3 colors we've seen in the previews. But like I am a strong believer in the power of command. And I think in Tarkin in particular, they have actually spoiled enough things that you can build like a double green Tarkin deck and like have a decent
Yeah.
curve. Um, and then yeah, like you play in like you can still do the like you said the cell block guard is an imperial, the royal guard is an imperial. Veers is an Imperial, so you got all that synergy with Tarkin, and then you still got Command on the top end to do just crazy stuff. I think Tarkin, like, if I had a bit, like, I don't know, like Luke might be better, but it's like Luke and Tarkin, I think, are the two best decks we can build out of the pool that we have,
Yeah,
and
I think
just
so.
they
Yeah,
both
that
create
sounds right.
situations that are hard to answer, like, and they're both really consistent with what they do.
And like
Everything else,
double command, you can run Yularen. Like you can run him in any green, but like if you're running double green with Yularen, you're just if I just got a bunch of small things, you're just healing it all. It doesn't matter because you're playing mostly green. Besides
right?
that, the Imperials like the ties and stuff, but you're mostly dropping greens.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. So like, I don't know. That's what we've been playing this week. What else? What else do we have this week to talk about? We got some blurry spoilers from Spiel. I actually didn't load the images, but they were kind of going around the Discord like this weird marketing like presentation FFG had is this a gift that keeps on giving. As I don't know, last week we talked about like the images that they had that were like blurry, but they kind of like spelt out a roadmap and like they have 6 sets on the calendar and like here's what their release schedule's like. And then someone's like, oh, here's this game genic like thing that they posted that had a blurry image of what looks to be maybe Iden Versio, and then like another blurry image that actually got is one of the spoilers turned out, which we'll review in a second, which was the 97th Legion.
Oh
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, that one ended up being spoiled quickly. And then there was like the German spoilers that we had that came out this week too, that were like in a I don't even know what that was. Like it was like a German ad or article for the game, and they like had a fan, and there was a new red upgrade that I don't have there. That was pretty sure it was like a one cost +1/+1 Saboteur
I think
single.
we just the only thing we didn't see was the plus attack, but we
Yeah,
haven't seen non plus. I mean, I guess the lightsabers are
It
different,
looked
but
like was that the one that looked like
I just
Jin or so?
assumed it would probably be +1/+1
it
or
was one that
plus.
had
I mean,
the picture of Jin on it.
Yeah,
yeah,
in the Imperial outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are like, "Is that Jin?" And it's like, no, look, it's obviously an upgrade template. Yeah, and I think I don't know. There was like his dudeness or someone posted on the Discord that like there was a one cost 1/1 Saboteur upgrade, and he posted that like a week ago. And I don't know, not to get into too like spoilerly leak territory, but there was some things that leaked from like the website early on, like that we might kind of know
I
what that
didn't
is.
even know that was a thing.
It was a thing before you guys came on. Like there were some leaks on FFG's website that oddly enough, the community came together and like the people that found it buried it really quick and like helped FFG fix it, which was kind of cool. Like
Mm.
Yeah.
interesting story. But there was a few leaks that like people know about. So like I don't know. I think it's fairly confident it's a one cost 1/1 Saboteur, but like yeah, we didn't see what the attack was. But by the text that we saw, we were fairly sure it was Saboteur. Um, well, there was something else. Oh yeah, I want to talk this week like putting in pre-orders at your game store. So like there's this weird thing going on where for whatever reason like Europe can put in their pre-orders with Asmodee, Canada can put in their pre-orders with Asmodee, US stores nothing. They have nothing in Asmodee. I've talked to like my
Yeah,
local
it's
store. I'm
weird.
good friends with the manager and the owner there, and he's like, "Yeah, I talked to my Asmodee sales rep, and they're like, nothing in the system." And I'm like, "Well, like Canada and Europe, like I've confirmed, like I've seen the pre-orders, like I have people that I've talked to there, like they can put them into Asmodee there. Why can't we put them in here?" You guys talk to your stores, like if you heard anything, like Garrett, like
I haven't got to talk to them
Dick,
My
specific. I placed a pre-order with my store, but not one like that.
right?
That's just because they allow it in their system, not that they can actually order it
yeah,
from Asmodee
same
yet.
same for me too. I mean, I'll be there this weekend for Shatterpoint, but so I'll ask then. But when I first did it, it was them saying like, "Look, we can't order them yet, but if you want to pre-order it, we can do it." So
Right.
in their system, I'm pre-ordered, but they have not at the time they weren't able to order it yet.
Yeah, 100%, like exact same thing at my store. Like I've been friends with like the owner and the manager at my store back like before Destiny even. Like I was going to that store for like World of Warcraft trading card game and then into Destiny. Like I've been going to the same store for like 15 years probably. So like if I message them and be like, "Hey, put this on pre-order," they're like, "We got you. Whatever you want. You spent like you've put my kids through college kind of thing." So yeah, like they have me down for like the pre-orders that I want, but like not officially. So I've like I've been talking to the managers like we want to get like release kits and OP kits and like all that in too. And he's like, it's not there. So interesting.
I
Interesting
mean,
that like it's not in the US, but it is
my
worldwide
my store is definitely committed to doing those things. They just haven't. At least, again, last time I talked to them, they didn't order them yet because they couldn't.
because they can't. Yeah, that's real weird. Hopefully they can soon. Don't really have an explanation for it, but
I mean, I'm not worried about it yet, but it is weird.
yeah, it
I
is.
mean, my only guess is that they don't want to be what happened with Locana, so they're like, let's just wait and see what the demand is before we have an allocation number,
Yeah,
um, and so that people don't over order things.
yeah. Which that's brings up a good point. It's complete like word of mouth hearsay, but I think there was someone on the Discord that said that they had talked to like someone. I don't know if it was like FFG or what, but it sounded like FFG is looking at pre-order numbers to help them figure out if they need to print more. So like I don't know if anybody is on the fence, like I would strongly urge them to like tell your stores to like pre-order, like even if it's just a box. If you're like maybe I will buy a box in the starter set, like tell your stores to put that in because it could legitimately affect like the print amount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I strongly like we were what what 3 4 5 5-ish months from the game releasing. Like
four and a
it's
half. Yeah,
4.5. Like it's at a point where like if FFG wants to submit like another print order and get more boxes based off of pre-order demand, they could do that. So like if you're very interested in the game and you don't want there to be a shortage, go put in a pre-order because they will probably print more product if they see a lot of pre-orders.
yeah. Like I did one box for my store for now, but whenever they go up, I will almost certainly do at least one more.
Yeah, I only
Yeah,
did one box and a pre-release kit.
Yeah,
They said they didn't have the starter in their system yet, which was kind of weird. But
yeah, that's weird. I've told on the Discord I'm stupid whale where I was like, give me a starter set, give me a case, 6 booster boxes, give me one of each of the Game Genic single deck pods,
oh
and
man,
give me
you went all in,
yeah,
no
give me a set
questions
of
asked.
tokens. Like I'm like, yeah, day one, if all that's in, I'm gonna come into the store and I'm gonna spend $1,000 and I'll be happy with it, whatever. Like I don't know. I told people online, like my philosophy is like I don't know how popular this game's gonna be. But I think at least for the first set, like I want to show my store that like this game I want to show them that the game's supported and I like want them to like go all in. So like ordering that much is kind of a way to hype them up and like, I have the money to spare. It's not a problem. Like whatever. But then on the other side, like if the game is popular, I think there's a reasonable chance that like in my case, like I do eBay store TCG player stuff, like maybe I flip another enough hyperspaces or get a showcase that like I make a good chunk of my money back.
yeah,
Like it's a gamble to some extent, but maybe it pays off. But like if it doesn't pay off, set two, like maybe I just buy 3 or 4 boxes and be more regular about it. But I
yeah. I
don't know.
mean,
Yeah, I
my
really
hopefully
said
I get a big one and I can sell
in
a
like a few
hyperspace.
boxes. I'm not really expecting to get anything crazy, but never know.
Yeah, I have no idea what the secondary market will be like, but I don't know. It's kind of like hope for the best and just be okay if it's not good. Like, but hopefully it's good, and I'll get like a showcase that I can sell for like 2 or 300, and then get a bunch of like hyperspace arts and like make half my money back from the case, and then I'll feel like amazing if I get that far. So
I mean, if I get one of those, it's going towards more cards probably. I
more
mean,
product.
yeah, realistically, I don't care that much about the hyperspace and the variants. I mean, if they're
I'll
cool and
enjoy
I
the
get
ones I have. I don't think I'm gonna sell all of
yeah.
mine, like kind of thing.
I mean,
That'll
I'll
be
sell
especially the
if it's worth a
commons. That
lot.
won't be
I
worth.
will.
I don't think the commons are gonna be worth a whole lot. Those will
No,
probably just play with them.
I just
I
want
mean,
a playset. and I'll
The,
take
the
it however
aggression
I
one
get
that
it.
they shared, like whatever last week it was, the aggression hyperspace promo. That was like the first
Good.
one that I've seen that was like, oh my god, I want that one.
Yeah,
Like
it does look really good.
I don't know if I play, but like the full red card, I don't know, just has like an
I like the
aesthetic.
really take. I like the takedown one they showed a
Yeah, it
lot.
was okay. That takedown one I think was OP kit.
Yeah,
It
so we're gonna
was
get it anyways.
Max. Yeah, you probably get that. But yeah, like I don't know. If I open something like aggression, I'll probably be tempted to sell it. Like if people are like legendary hyperspaces are going for like 50 or $100, I'll
I
probably
mean, they have to
sell
go for something because they're still a legendary at their heart. Like,
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
As
like a
long as
legendary
as long as they drive
hyperspace.
down the prices of the other ones, I'm
Yeah, I
good.
yeah,
think someone did the math. It was like 1 in 50 packs for a legendary hyperspace still, which I mean it's that
Like
yeah,
one every
that's
two
still
boxes.
2 boxes ish. Yeah,
yeah, 2.5 boxes, something like that. I might be off on that. I'm just guessing, but like yeah, they'll still be fairly rare. I don't know. Anyway, like spoiler, hopefully in a couple weeks we'll get our friend Hunter on here who's apparently done some math and will tell us like what these
he's big
chase
on
things will
sports
go for.
card stuff too. So
And he does a
he's
lot of Pokemon
big
as
on.
well.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's a pro
he's just has been in the secondary market a lot.
he does secondary market with sports cards, and there's like math stuff that they can do, where like if they know what the odds of pulling something are, and like how much money you have to spend on the boxes, like they can roughly break down like how much should each thing be worth. So like
I
hopefully be able
mean,
to give
that's in
us
like the ideal perfect market, right? It doesn't mean that things are actually going to sell that way. Like obviously, like
Right.
sure.
if there's a legendary like Vader or something like that, people are that's gonna be expensive because in every other game that you have like a big Vader, it's gonna be the most expensive card, right?
Well, it's also just like a baseline because in sports cards there's no game. So like
Yeah, well, I mean that's true
if
too.
if the hyperspace legendary is good, it's gonna sell for more than if it's
Right.
just pretty. Like
I
Yeah.
mean, even with sports cards, like if it's actually a more popular player.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's like a math thing where you can at least get like ballparks where you can be like the average
Mhm.
legendary should sell for $20. But like that's average and obviously you're going to have some legendaries that are more desirable that might push 30 and there's going to be some that are garbage they're going to be like 5 or 10. But like based off of like what you'll pull over opening a case like this much value should be allocated towards the legendaries, this much value is going to be towards hyperspace, like this much value should be towards like the average showcase. Like I think
It'd be
that's the
pretty
kind
awesome if legendaries were less than $20 average. I don't know
Somewhere
if
of
that's
near.
gonna
thing.
happen, but
I think on average I have nothing no math to go off of and we'll need Hunter for this, but I feel in my gut like the average legendary price should be like $20 in this game. Like I feel like that's where it should be. And not knowing how many legendaries are in the set, like it's minimum 12. I think with the change of heart spoiler, which we're going to see or preview,
I
we're going to
think
see later.
everyone's saying it's minimum 16 now with
Yeah, because
that. So
we got a single yellow legendary, which made people change
just
the
with
map.
that one card, everybody's wallet's gotten a little bit thinner.
But yeah, we figured it would be between 12 and 20. But like, I have a feeling the average legendary price will be 20. And like, if there's a chase something, like I expect like Falcon or Boba Fett will probably be closer to 30 or maybe even 40 out of the gate.
I can see that.
Yeah, there'll probably be some garbage that's $10 that nobody wants, but like I feel like 20 will probably be average. And like
Vigilance.
right?
Hey, if Vigilance is cheap, I
I'll
hope
buy
to
them.
God it
I'll
is because
play
I
it.
like Vigilance.
I
I
do
like
too.
Vigilance quite a bit.
But
Yeah.
like compared to Command,
It
I
does
feel
seem
like
to be the least popular of them. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't actually like aggression that much.
it
Still,
looks
like
cool.
I've not seen it a ton. I've played it a little bit in like Felt Table and seen some games with it, and it's like if it removes the upgrades and deals the damage, it feels good. If there's no upgrades on the field, it just kind of feels like I don't know what I'm doing with myself. So
yeah.
and we
Yeah.
talked about it at last podcast too. It's just still kind of same sentiments.
Yeah, I think the one thing that'll push the value of the double aspect legendaries is because they're deck enablers. Like you
Yeah,
can't like you won't play the double aspect deck without the double aspect legendary.
Nope.
Like you need
But you
it to
can
play that.
play a yellow deck without Boba.
Right, yeah, like it's a
He's
deck
really
of
good. You don't need him.
yeah. Whereas like it doesn't make any sense to play double blue, double vigilance with no double vigilance cards. Like yeah, like you need that to play the deck. That's the only thing I think that will make those premiums. I don't think they'll be worth more than say like Boba Fett just because he gets the name recognition. Millennium Falcon gets the name recognition. Like if we get anything that's a legendary with the name recognition, like those get premium just because people are like, I want the Luke or Vader or Boba, like or Han or whatever is the
Yeah.
thing. Like
We don't have a legendary Han, right?
no, we haven't
Because
seen any of
yeah,
those. Yeah. But like if
No.
if there is, like I'm assuming we won't get a legendary Han because we have a rare Han, like in this set.
right.
Yeah,
We
not
can't
in
have
this set.
three Hans. If he's winning the race against Vader at 8, then we've got an issue.
Didn't Destiny have a lot of Hans? I'm trying to think. I have a feel like I
Yeah,
felt like
decent
they had a
amount
lot of Hans early. I don't
It
because
know.
they
might
had
have.
one in
First Han
Awakenings.
was bad, wasn't it?
No, he was
I
like
think
I don't know.
he was
He
good
was
for the
one of the
time.
money. Yeah, he was
I'm
the
trying
money.
to
Like
remember what he did.
he was the one where you
Shields.
played. If you played an upgrade on him, you got to take an extra action. So like everybody was doing the
No,
Han Ray.
that was Ray. Ray was the one that did that.
What did he
Han
do?
gave
He got to
shields.
pull
He
out a
gave
die.
shields.
Oh no, he gave shield. I remember people doing Han Ray, but like he was.
He was good until set 2 when the vibro knife came out and made shields meaningless.
Yeah, Han was
Oh
like
yeah,
a fourth
oh
set
yeah,
leg.
yeah. Because Zach Bunn played Han. I played against him in Ray, and yeah,
Yeah, I think
every time you
in
ambush, you gave him a shield. I mean that was pretty cool.
yeah Destiny's most expensive legendaries were Vader and Han in the first set. Like those
And
were
that's
the
because
two.
Vader is Vader.
And Vader is Vader, and he was also really good, and he won the first worlds. But Han was like right behind him. It was like Vader got to like $50, and Han was like $40. Now I don't think like in this game, I don't think our legendaries are going to push that high because of the chase cards. Fingers crossed, but we'll see. I guess.
It's possible some of them do, but yeah,
I think 40 or 50 would probably be the highest we'll see for non variant ones. And
Yeah, I think.
that's I mean that might be an overestimate too,
Yeah,
but
I mean
it's a
that was a
guess.
cap. That was a cap for Destiny. I think like Snoke got up to like 60 or 70 in Destiny as like the most expensive legendary they ever had. But like Destiny had no chases. Like the legendaries were the chases. And then on
but it
top of
was
that,
easier to get a full playset too at the same
It was
yeah,
only
time.
two
So it's like
cards.
yeah. And then on top of
and
that,
guaranteed every 6 per box, 6 per
De-
100 and
yeah.
some dollars,
Destiny
just more
only
than
having the three colors with less restriction on what you can play with each other, I think increases the cost of things too. Because like everything is in Destiny was more widely playable.
Yeah.
Like Boba is really good, but being cunning villainy really like farther restricts like what decks you can play him in than like Snoke being a blue villainy in Destiny or like Vader being a blue villainy. Like
yeah.
you could compare those guys with a bunch of things because there was only two other colors instead of three other colors, and I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's talk about preview cards. We're like 28 minutes into here. We found stuff to talk about. We were worried we wouldn't have stuff to talk
We're
about. We
just
found stuff to talk about.
making crap up.
Making crap up. I actually ordered the spoilers this week from like least impressive to most impressive, and I might have had this wrong because I actually kind of like this first one. This was our unit aggression spoiler for this week. So we got the base last week. We got a unit this week. We still have an event and upgrade to come. But yeah, the unit this week was Cantina Braggart. He's a one cost unit, needs a single aggression aspect, a 0 power 3 HP underworld that has raid 2, which means he gets +2 attack while attacking. Garrett, what do you think of the Braggart?
Everybody's pretty down on this one, but I like it. Like if you attack it, that saves me damage. If you don't, I'm dealing you 2. So like it only costs 1. Like it's I people don't seem to like it very much, but I think it will absolutely find a place in red decks because it costs 1. Like
Yeah.
you will have the resource for it more often than not. and it's just there. It's annoying. Like it's there to be annoying.
Sure. Nick, what do you think?
I think it's good. I mean, I have heard a lot of people not super being into it, but I mean, what do you want for one for real though? Like, I know like you can just kill it with other stuff, but like, I think when I see this, I see like that's the perfect vehicle for buffs, and if people ignore it, then you throw Fallen Saber on it round two, and then it's
That's funny.
super freaking scary.
No, you're right
Yeah,
though. Like
And this is like the first unit also that like can actually work with the Grand Inquisitor. I feel like that doesn't like it's like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually going to be kind of good with Grand Inquisitor. You throw it on it with Fallen Saber, and with the raid, you're actually hitting for 5. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
with Grand Inquisitor, you can play him out, do nothing round 1. Round 2, put a Fallen Saber, attack for 5, take take the 2 damage, ready it, attack for 5 again. Like that's nuts. If you get that uncontested, that's nuts.
yeah.
And it's not even that crazy. And like, what are you going to do about it on the other side? Like taking out a 6 health thing with 3 resources is not
You can't take down it.
doable.
can't dig that. No, you're actually. I hadn't thought about that combination with Grand Inquisitor, but yeah, if you do put the Fallen Lightsaber on it, he's still only 3 power with the 2 raids. You can ready him up. That's actually pretty decent. I
I still
actually
don't
like
think Grand Inquisitor's there yet. I still think we need a lot more cards to see to
I
make him
agree.
really cool.
for sure.
But like, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think that was my more like when people were talking down about the braggart, like my position was the same. It was like he's probably not there yet in the current pool, but I think we're missing like there's going to be more aggro cards, and like if I'm running like a low to the ground aggro deck, like this guy is fine. Like
Yeah,
he's got the health pool that he doesn't just keel over. Like he doesn't die to any 2 drops. Like that we've like I don't know what Viper Pro.
Sabine can kill him.
it
Okay,
is the
so
two.
we have a couple 2 drops that can kill him, but like getting
Yeah,
to
but like,
3 damage early is not necessarily easy. Like he's not in like Vader
yeah,
ping down range. Like he can't just get pinged to death.
Like,
Like
what are you gonna open fire it? Go for it. Like,
yeah, and if they open, yeah, you're
okay,
you
fine.
open, you take, yeah, 3
But I
mana
think
to
it's
their
just
1.
like I don't know. I was thinking of like in a Sabine deck, like he's great if you have a huge suite of low to the ground things. Like, give me some more 1 drops, give me some more 2 drops. We don't really have a huge selection right now to really play that like low to the ground aggro deck. But like, I like this guy in a scenario like he's like the same reason I said with the Dodonna. Like you play Dodonna, like people have to deal with Dodonna, but then they're not dealing with your braggart, who is still a 1 cost card that's doing 2 damage per round.
yeah.
Or yeah, and then like I didn't even think about the Grand Inquisitor thing. That's actually kind of a funny combo, though. Grand Inquisitor is missing a bunch of 3 cost
Everything
things.
else.
Yeah, like he's just, like too many of the villain things of like not enough health to play with him right now. But like yeah, this is definitely a Grand Inquisitor slotted card. Like if there's a deck that works with him, like he
I mean, it's
wants.
also the fact that it's neutral. I mean, I think you play this in a hero aggro deck. Like, I'd put that in all the Sabines right now.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think it's a solid card. Like, it's not gonna win you games probably, but it's annoying. Like, it's an annoyance that you got to deal with. You can't
Yeah,
leave it alone, or if you do, then I'm just getting 2 free damage every turn.
yeah. Yeah, that's another negative you put though. He's not rebel, like he's not imperial. Which at least if
Yeah.
you're going for those synergy cards, like he doesn't work with wing leader, Veers, fleet lieutenant, tie
yeah,
advance, which is a
yeah. I mean,
pretty
as we get more cards, though, I think we'll see decks veer away from just like right now. It's so easy to be like, I'm just gonna put the Imperial cards in my deck, and that is half your package. Is the Imperial package? Yeah, that makes sense. But
yeah for sure. Next card, slightly better, I thought, or at least more impactful. We got our buddy Lando Calrissian. He's a rare. He's a 6 cost cunning heroism unit. Has 6 power, 5 HP, fringe official. He has saboteur, and then most interestingly, he has a when played ability that when you play him, you can return up to 2 friendly resources to their owner's hands. So this is the first card we've seen that lets you get your resources back. Like whatever you've resourced down, if you made a mistake or need something back, you can pick up whatever you want, but it's at the cost of your losing resources. Nick, what do you think about this one?
I'm not sold still.
Still not
But
sold?
people like it. I mean, he's Lando, so like people are like, oh yeah, like big body, big cost. Like I don't know. I just don't know what you're. With the way we have cards right now, I don't know what deck you play this in. I don't know what he does for you in most decks. Like I don't want to play him until I'm at like 8 or 9 mana, and then like what hero deck am I playing that I need to be at 8 or 9 mana right now, or resources? Shouldn't say mana, but you know,
That's
Whatever.
copyrighted.
This mana is
mana's
copyrighted.
determined like every other game. But like yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm like. It is cool to be able to like, haha, I have these two cards that were hidden, and it's like it is like an extra bonus draw. But like the downside is like really weird, and the fact that like there's no impact right away. Like the impact, I guess, is drawing the cards. So like unless you're at 8 or 9 resources, you're not playing those cards either after you play this guy. So it's just kind of like I don't know. I mean, I want more than a 6/5 saboteur. And if I'm playing a big guy, I don't know how much I care about saboteur with like big health things. Like I guess we haven't really seen decks that make me want to play saboteur in a late game thing.
I think as we see more Sentinels, it'll be worth it. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
against Luke, Saboteur is pretty good, but it
yeah.
needs
I mean,
more.
it is good against stuff. It's just like not the aggro decks. Like I don't know that you're not putting him in an aggro deck. You're right,
Uh
which
oh.
is where I feel like
Yeah.
saboteur.
Oh,
Are we losing other Nick? Oh, you froze for
I
a
don't think
yeah,
second.
so.
you're back.
I don't know what happened.
Whatever. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I think like what Nick said, like when you play a 6 cost card, when you're not affecting the board, like the round you play him is a really hard sell. Though I do think the Saboteur, uh, with the 6 power is an interesting like mid range pressure card. Like if you get to that point, like and I do think we have enough Sentinels. Like even the games that we played on the stream earlier, like Sentinels are still really relevant, and like there could be a point where like I drop this, and then you're like, oh, I've got these cell block guards and these Cloud City Wing guards or these Emperor's Royal guards, and sometimes it would be nice just to ignore those guys and keep pushing 6 into your base, or upgrade them and keep putting more to your base.
But he still
It
has an
is.
attack throw when he comes out, so he's just kind of like he's gonna sit there and like not do anything and then not die, and you're just like,
Yeah, you need to
I
have that
mean, I
mid range
guess.
deck that like maintains like an even board state till he comes out, and then he's kind of interesting, maybe. Um, I do think he's a limited bomb. Like it was the one thing I thought
Yeah,
of him. Like if I go into like a draft or sealed format where like maybe card draw is at a premium and like this big unit can't be dealt with easily, like he's probably pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
take him in like a
not
limited format.
gonna be
But
that.
it's not a great sign that in the constructed that we have with half the set that we're like I'm not sold on him. Like he's not. I don't know how he gets better in constructed. I don't. I guess there could be something comboed with the
Something
strings.
is if something combos with that ability is really the thing, and I just we'll see. We there's a lot of yellow to see, and we haven't even seen Cunning Month, and maybe we're starting to see between Boba and this and Han that like resource manipulation in some kind of way, weird resourcey stuff, but that isn't ramp specifically, like
Yeah,
full on ramp, seems to be a cunning aspect thing. So
Yeah, he kind
there
of
could definitely be more to
non-bow.
come with that.
So say he's a non-bow with Han, which is kind of annoying to me. Like,
Oh yeah, like it really doesn't synergize. You're just killing more resources with
yeah, you're like I can get rid of all of my resources. Who needs them? And then it's like,
race
well,
to the bottom.
yeah, some people are like, play them really low to the ground. I'm like, if I'm playing really low to the ground, why am I even going to 6 resources? I don't even
to get.
know.
I mean, maybe okay, okay, because you play Han, you go up to 6, and then you're like, I'm done, and I just don't care. Like you just cap at 6, and you start playing a bunch of Wheaties after that
Yeah, I mean, I
and
guess I would
draw.
mainly
I mean,
like
maybe there's a world where like you're just trying to get to 6 to get Han out really early, and then after that, it doesn't matter, and maybe that's fine.
yeah,
But we need more stuff for Han for that to really feel like it's the better version of Han. So
yeah, that you're not wrong. Like there could be a Han deck where that is interesting. Where what you get up to round 4 with 5 resources. Well, Han's going to take you to 7, which is awkward anyway. But like you can Han
yeah,
flip, do Han's ability, go to 6, flip Han, play Lando for 6, pick up a couple things with Lando, but like maybe all the rest of your deck is low to ground. You're like, I got my leader, I got my Lando, and I'm going to swarm the board with this Saboteur Lando to like maybe back it up. I don't know.
yeah. Instead of trying to drop bombs every turn after you get there, I mean,
I
Yeah.
don't know. It
who
feels
knows?
still feels suspect to me, but I guess
It's
that's just
definitely not there yet, but yeah, we got a lot more yellow to see.
yeah. All right. The best yellow card that we've seen this week, or at least the most interesting, in my opinion, was the event Change of Heart, a Gambit event. It's a 6 cost single cunning aspect. It is a legendary, and this is where everyone changed their legendary math because we see a single aspect legendary card. But its text says take control of a non-leader unit. At the start of the regroup phase, its owner takes control of it. So you essentially can pay 6 to steal one of your opponent's units for the round. Nick, what's up with this? What do you think of it?
I mean, I like this card a lot. I mean, it's not going to be working everything, but it's like I'm going to make you scared to play anything big because I'm going to take it and ram it against you. Like as of things that we have seen right now, I feel like the worst thing that can happen in response to this is like an asteroid sanctuary or a Leia. Like exhausting the thing after you take control of it feels pretty bad. But if you take control of a big thing, if they use removal on it, then you win because they killed their own unit with their own card. Um, if you just smack base with it, I mean, that's like if you smack base with home 1, you restore 2, deal 7. Like that's a huge swing, even if like and it just delays the round for like you not trading it in and getting a kill with it like that can be really good too. Be like, oh, I'll 2 for 1 because I'll take my guy that I just stole, trade it in with one of your other guys, and boom. But like just taking a big thing and smacking it in the base can be really solid.
It's
Yep.
the Mace Windu killer.
The Mace
But
Windu kill.
drop
Yeah.
Mace. Okay. Here's change
Now
of
I'm
heart.
gonna kill all yours too.
I mean, that's something I would use it on. But like I like this card a lot. There's similar cards in other card games that I've played, but like yeah, I can if we're at 6 resources, we're probably getting towards the end game. And I can just take something big of yours and kill something else of yours and trade them off. And you've just lost 2 cards for 6 resources. Yeah, 100%. I like this one.
I don't know
Yeah.
what like the basis of like where you'd kind of cut off like what you use this on. Like obviously in like a late game situation, if it's a card in your hand and they have things that you need to answer, it doesn't really matter how much they cost. You just got to play it when you got to play it. But like I don't know like at what point you play this right on 6. And playing it right at 6 actually probably feels a little weird because if they play a 6 drop, you can't actually take that because it'll be exhausted. Like you really do need to hit something early in a round that was played the previous round.
I mean, there's Obi-Wan. If they play an Obi-Wan, that stops them from attacking with other stuff.
And it
Probably.
takes their. I mean, it also removes Obi-Wan from protecting everything else too. So.
Right.
No, what I actually want to see with this, and this the real point, is we need to see some kind of just like murder your own unit to gain some menial buff for cheap.
Yep.
Like, there's got to be something that's cheap that's like, just kill a dude and get something like I don't know, give a dude a shield, draw a card, whatever. Like, there's got to be something. Probably, maybe not, but that would be so good with this. Like, be
I mean,
like,
if we're
give me
thinking in
like
like
8 9 mana, kill your
if
dude and get a main big benefit for myself,
or
even
even
after attacking with it.
if we're thinking in Destiny terms, like remove one of your dice to remove another die, like kill one of your guys to kill one of theirs. Something like that. But that's a lot of resources at that point because that card can't be cheap, right?
Right.
Yeah, that would be pretty strong. Like a kill a guy with resources of the same, or with of resources or power the
Yeah,
same
something
or
like that.
less as this
Hmm.
guy. We could get that. That would be super strong.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I played when I was playing Nick earlier. I played a couple different decks that had this in it, and just to like play, I don't know, the negative or the devil's advocate on this. Like there's I think there's more scenarios in the game where change of heart is not good than where it's good, and by that I mean like there was a game against Nick where like I was already like behind on board. I think he was at like I had like 15 damage on my base, and he had like only like 6 or 7 on his base, and like I had the opportunity to like play a change of heart on like say a Gladiator Star Destroyer, but like there was nothing to run it into. I couldn't get rid of the Gladiator Star Destroyer. It was going to take up all of my resources for the turn. Um, it
You're buying
essentially
your base. I mean, you're buying yourself a 10 health swing, but
is, yeah, but like no, like I'm not making any
yes and no.
progress on the board. So it's like, yeah,
No, I know. Yeah, you
I
lose
bought
board
my
progress.
Sentinel swing, but like at the end of the round, like you get your Star Destroyer back. You had some ground units, and I still have an empty board. Like it wasn't going to win me the game. And then I think on the other hand, like I think it was a game I played against Garrett with the Luke deck. Like you could hit a point where you're already ahead, and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Yeah.
certainly not a card that matters as much when you're ahead, but it is it could help you from behind, and there's not a lot of cards that can help you from behind. I feel like that
yeah,
we've
it could
seen
help you if you're a little bit like this. That's the weird thing. Like it helps you
like
if
a
you're a
little
little
behind,
behind.
not like
It helps
complete. Yeah,
you the board's even, but like if the board's at any extreme, like it's kind of dead. Like I don't know. So like half the time it's dead, half the time it's live. But like I don't know. Like the good thing is that it's live in games that are close. Like you don't care if it's dead if you're ahead. Like if you're way behind, it kind of sucks that it's dead. Like that's the biggest detractor. But like all those
hmm
games are somewhat close. Like it feels like you might be able to swing something, and that's great. Like it's a threat.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I still like it, but like it didn't do me any favors. I guess in the games that I played today, for anybody to watch the stream would be like, "Change of Heart didn't do anything." Yeah, and I think I played. What did I played on one of your games against your like Veers and traded your Veers into like an Emperor,
Royal
like a Royal
Guard.
Guard, and then still lost the game. Like in the end, like
I
it
mean, that
didn't.
was a game where you had no, you literally had nothing in it. Like it just, they had like 4 ground units, so you taking one and like knocking out didn't really do. I mean, it removed damage for me, but like it didn't really matter.
Yeah, and I guess that's the other thing is it's the randomness of can you like if you're slightly behind, you want to take an opponent's unit and run it into another one of their units and hopefully trade both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel super great if like you run it into one of their units and you just kill one of them and like they still get one because like Vanquish does that cheaper. Like you can kill a unit with like paying less than 6 in a lot of
I mean,
different
Yeah.
ways.
at that point, technically you damage both, so it is slightly
True.
better, but
Yeah, damn,
and
yeah,
you reduce the damage potential from them using it against you. So like it's better for one. And it's in those situations where you're trying to trade in, as long as at least one dies, assuming it's something you actually care about and not just like, oh, I traded this big, I use my big thing to attack your weenie, then the big thing still lives, then that kind of sucks.
right. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I still think it's good. Just it did not help me win
I think
games.
it'll shine at some point. Maybe like we're not there yet, but it's a card that I'm excited for and I want
Yeah.
to play with and
I,
make work.
I remember the last time I say it. Like it's weird that like yellow already has waylay. So like I feel like if someone's playing against a yellow deck, they're already apprehensive to play big units, just
Yep.
because how much waylay could punish them. So I do think that detracts from Change Heart's value somewhat. Like you could
Good
be
point.
like, oh, I could play like maybe you just don't play the Obi-Wan or don't play the Star Destroyer if you have and you just resource those and play like lower to the ground units instead just to keep their waylay or their change of heart off of value. I don't know, there's a counterplay opportunity there that
I mean,
I
that may
think
be the point of yellow too. Another point of just like kind of punishing big units, and I mean that's a good identity to have too. I feel like
yeah, sure. No, definitely for sure. Is the thing like the cat and
I
mouse
mean,
play.
yeah, like a lot of the cards do punish big units. Like layup punishes your leader even. Like in
That's
Asteroid
anyway.
Sanctuary, the fact like they're super cheap and they can turn off the biggest thing. Like
You just
not
need an
Temporarily.
forever.
aggro
Yeah.
deck. Is
It's
what I'm saying. Like
it's
I
kind of
need more.
kicking the can down the road, but
Yeah, I think I posted in like Rule Shadow somewhere. I'm just never gonna play a unit that costs more than 4 ever again. Just give me enough units for my low curve, so I don't have to like cry about Waylay or Leia or Change of Heart just wrecking my day ever.
That'd be funny if they don't know your deck, so they're just sitting there waiting for your big thing to come out for all their removal, and then it just never comes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the cat, there. Like it's funny that there's a cat and mouse thing because you're like, well, I'm
yeah,
playing yellow. I'm just gonna like resource my 6 cost stuff, and then maybe they go, well, he knows I'm gonna resource my 6 cost stuff, so I'm just gonna resource my like waylays and change of hearts because I'm not gonna get to play. I don't know.
yeah.
It is
Yellow is the mind game
the
color,
mind.
I guess.
Yeah, no, it definitely
Yellow is the mind killer.
the yellow is the mind killer. Like, yeah, no, it makes sense. Cunning. It's all about the mind games. Anyway, that's all we got to talk about today. Relatively slow news week. So yeah, like, and I don't expect much more next. Do we have a stream? Oh, we do have
Yeah, we do.
TwitchCon.
We have the competitive stream. No, next week is the competitive.
That's it. Okay, so we got
That's
two
the big
things
one.
coming up, like plugging things coming up. For whatever reason, FFG is at TwitchCon this weekend, which you're like, what?
Yeah,
Why?
they gotta get they gotta get all the Twitch streamers interested in the game. I'm not opposed to that. I feel like that's kind of cool because like I don't know, that's a different audience. Like I
It's
mean,
fine.
some of it, but like it's not necessarily going to pick your classic go to the board game store people. So if you can actually like get people that have like thousands of followers interested in the game, that's more than we got in the Discord right now. So
Yeah, I don't hate it from like getting the message out to a wider audience. It is weird to like try to sell a game at a non gaming convention.
I mean,
But the
Twitch is
one thing,
originally technically a gaming platform, just not a physical gaming
sure,
platform.
which yeah brings me to the next point. Like, it makes me wonder, like, is there plans to have a digital platform for this
I
game? Or we
mean, that would be a
Be
cool
cool.
announcement.
Yeah, I would like that.
because like that's like when I think of like why would you go to TwitchCon? Oh, I want Twitch streamers to like stream my game like they do with like FPSs or like other like video games that they stream. Like that's the big streaming thing. Like Hearthstone was
Yeah,
huge in the streaming world. Like there's a bunch of like Twitch streamers that streamed Hearthstone. But like trying to stream tabletop is annoying and a lot of people won't bother, but maybe they have
yeah,
a secret online multiplayer client. I mean, the game not is kind of built for it, not having like interrupts or anything. Like it wouldn't be overly complex to build a client to play the game.
Nope.
I mean, someone built Felt Table, just built it with networking. There you go.
Yeah, felt table does good against the AI. Like there's been some talks of like I can't remember the techie whatever. Like I don't know.
Jinteki from Netrunner.
Jinteki, yeah.
Yeah, like people are like get into that, which could happen in the future at some point. But like, yeah, that was the one thing when I'm like, they're going to TwitchCon. Do they? Is there going to be a digital
That
client?
would
Like,
be awesome. I don't think. I
would
think
be
it is really
awesome.
just a PR. I think it's a PR move. I think it's just like these people have influence, and it's just advertising, and it's probably not too expensive to like set something up there. Maybe I don't know. It's more than they ever did for Destiny and stuff. So I mean, if they're gonna try to hit the game out big, this is the kind of stuff I'd like to see. Just getting more
Can't
people to
complain.
know about the game and
Yeah.
interested.
Next stop, they buy a Super Bowl ad before the game
Oh
comes out.
God, that's probably too expensive.
we're, we're really advertising. Come on, February Super Bowl. They can drop $40 million on a 30-second spot or whatever it is. Let's sell this damn game.
Ah,
They
No,
only need like an 8-second ad. I
yeah, he
mean,
said Star Wars on the card game.
Star
There you
Wars.
go.
I mean, High Life did it, right?
Sure. I can't remember. Has Magic ever had like a Super Bowl ad? I don't know. Like if they haven't done
Magic
it.
need a Super Bowl ad?
No, they got the money for it, but who
I mean,
knows?
there's a lot of companies that don't need Super Bowl ads, but that doesn't stop them from doing it anyway. Does anybody not know about Coca-Cola or Budweiser at this point?
I mean, that's a good point, but that's like it's a
Budweiser?
continued continued brainwashing kind of technique at that
I
point.
guess. Anyway, that's all we have for this week, and we'll be back next week to hopefully talk about competitive stuff and whatever they revealed at TwitchCon. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.